Hey, what's up? My name is Theun. We're about a month into the new season, which means it's prime time for healers to start yapping again. So that's what's on the agenda today. Also, apologies for the voice. I have not gotten very much sleep this week, so if it sounds like I have morning voice, that's why. Um, yeah, as you can guess, we're going to talk about healing because there's an catastrophic event happening in WoW right now, which I'm going to cover Preservation Evoker in a minute. Um, but I don't even think that's the biggest problem right now. Ironically, I made this video about a year and a half ago talking about the state of healing in WoW and why it changed and what's so different about healing in WoW now um, compared to what it used to be in like BFA and Shadowlands and everything. Where was it? This August 9th of 2023. So a little over a year ago now. Damage kind of throughout the and if you go back and watch this video, pretty much every single thing that I discussed in this video is still true today, and that's after many attempts that Blizzard had to fix it, and like many blue posts like recognizing that okay, yes, this is an issue. We're gonna try and like do something about this, and that's why it's so frustrating that the War Within Season 1 feels just like Dragonflight Season 1. There's like almost no differences. In fact, even the good healers are the exact same. Preservation Evoker is just crushing it in Raid. Um, so it's really frustrating to see that all of the feedback that we've given over the last like year and a half to 2 years or whatever has done absolutely nothing. And that's because they keep doing the same thing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, Season 1 to Season 2 of Dragonflight, they buffed our health by a lot. Season 2 to Season 3, they buffed our health by a lot. Same thing, Season 3 to Season 4, and then again coming into The War Within. And as many started to point out, like later on in Dragonflight, like after Season 2, a lot of people started talking about defensive power creep and things like that. There's multiple facets of this problem, and like there's multiple like reasons why healing has changed, and that's what we've been talking about for forever. And they have not tried to fix any of those problems, and it's not going to get any better until they do. So they need to start pruning defensives. We have way too many of them on every single spec in the game. There's no need for all of those. I think it's also a problem in PvP. You just have too much shit. Every single class has too much shit in every single department. It was funny. There's actually a Zekvir Delve like double question mark guide for how to deal with the like spit that he does on you, because it does a bunch of damage, and I think it also puts a like a mortal strike on you, and you have to either kick that or kick the heal that the mobs do. But you can actually just get rid of that dot by using a snare removal. And people are like, oh, well, I don't have one of those. When in fact, almost every single spec in the game has a snare removal now. And if you go watch like a PvPer streaming in 2024, there's only like 3 of them left. But if you go find one of them and you look at what is happening to their characters, they're getting CC'd and slowed like by 90 million different things. There's like 20 different types of stuns in every single matchup. There's just so much in the game now. And the same thing is true about healing. There's just so much stuff that's just attached to every single spec in the game, and it's because of the talent trees, right? So I give a lot of Resto Shaman examples because I am like a Resto Shaman guy. I know a lot about the spec. We don't need 31 talent points to pick the stuff that we like would like in a talent tree. The talent trees are really cool. They did a lot of really good things with them. They're simply too powerful. They have too much stuff in them. So we don't need to have 6 defensives on the class tree. And you don't need to give us like 9 different cooldowns and a ton of different modifiers, massive modifiers, mind you, on all of your core abilities to make a spec tree good. Like you're just filling out points when that's not really the point of these trees, right? So and then you attach hero talents on top of that, and it creates this like nightmare scenario where you every single healer presses a button and it instantly fills health bars. Aside from Resto Druid, sorry, they're not very good right now. But the point is you press a button and then it instantly refills the health bar, and then a mechanic happens and everyone drops to 5% HP or gets one shot, and then again the healer presses a thing and then they're back to full HP. So I gave a couple of examples in this video where I was looking at like Sludge Fist and N'Zoth, and then I also looked at Razageth P1 from Dragonflight. And if you look at the health bars, they're like sitting at 100%, and then they take the bomb damage and they go to like 40%, and then instantly, like a second, maybe 2 seconds later, they're at full again. I want you to go. I'm not going to show it here. I want you to go find the world first kill for Liquid in Queen Ansarek, and when they're heading into the intermission, they're going to take like a bunch of damage from the dot that they get, and then right after that they're going to get sucked in, and that rest damage does a ton of damage. And I want you to watch their health bars when that's happening. I think it's like 240-ish or 3 minutes into the fight. Just watch their health bars and watch how fast they top themselves, and then compare that to Razageth P1 and tell me if there's any difference. Tell me if we've made any headroom in like the state of healing. And the answer is we haven't, right? It feels the exact same. So Mythic Plus feels the exact same. There's tons of one-shots. If you are trying to do your 10s, it's funny because 10s drop 613 item level loot, and even at 624, if I don't press defensives well, I could very easily be one-shot. And it's not only one key and one dungeon boss or whatever. It's a variety of keys. I can very easily get one shot from different mechanics. You get a dot, and if you don't defensive it, you just get one shot. It's stupid. It's not fun to deal with these types of things. And if you're pugging, especially pug healers, they have PTSD. The corrupt dot in Grim Batol right before the last boss. Your DPS players, they'll just run in and they have no idea the dot's on them because they're not paying attention, which is totally like fine, whatever. I don't care. But they get one shot and then they immediately just healer ? That's not the healer's fault, but they're gonna take the blame for it, and it sucks. It sucks to see new people trying out healing for the first time, and then they just get shunned away, and they're like, okay, I'm never gonna try that again. Fuck that. And it's really frustrating. So, all that's to say, healing feels like it did in Dragonflight Season 1, and to top it all off, we are left with this atrocity. So, coming into the War Within, a lot of us knew that Preservation Evoker was like really overpowered. It was numerically just like way too good, and I was totally expecting Preservation Evoker to get nerfed in Heroic Week, because it was pretty blatant, honestly. And you could very easily see on heroic logs like, okay, these guys are like really good, and then they just didn't get touched at all. And if it was funny watching all the Race to World First guilds, like the tuning post came out and they were looking and they're like, where are the pres nerfs? And then Mythic Week came out and every guild was running at least 2 Preservation Evokers, and this is why. They are literally like 1.5 healers in one. And the funny thing is, I don't think the Race to World First would have killed bosses like Kaiveza if Preservation Evoker wasn't this overpowered. And no one's really like talked about that yet. So if you're unaware, Kaiveza was like absurdly overtuned, even for Race to World First, to the point where they had to one tank it, and they were using like Ankh Totem to reset their tanks stacks and stuff just to barely meet the DPS check. With Vantis runes and everything. But they were 4 healing that fight. And the only reason that they were able to 4 heal is because they had 2 Preservation Evokers. So if you pull up World First Kaiveza.
And lines.
And you look at the healing meters, they're destroying everyone else. Now they don't do anything in the intermission, which is a different story or whatever, but they're covering so much of just the raw throughput needed And it's not even with cooldowns. It's just pressing engulf. It's their hero talent ability. Um, so you would have normally had to 5 heal this. If Preservation Evoker was like tuned like down here to the level of everyone else, you probably would have needed a 5 heal just to cover the damage of the fight, which meant this was not anywhere close to possible. Which is why it's so funny that like a healer being this strong for this long, we're a month, literally a month into the season now, and it hasn't been touched yet. It is Friday at 3 p.m. There has not been a tuning post yet. Friday 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Sorry, on October 4th, and there has not been a tuning post yet for Preservation Evoker, which is frankly embarrassing. It was sad that it launched as strong as it was, like, after Heroic Week, and it's even more sad that it is still left in this state today. This is enough throughput to make you feel stupid if you're playing a Resto Druid. And no one knows this feeling better than JB. His guild put him on Resto Druid, unfortunately, and he has not seen the inside of a raid instance yet. And it's because, like, why would you? Like, why would you not play 2 of these, right? So, I don't want to rant about all the things that I talked about in that original video, and defensive power creep and everything. I feel like everyone has talked about that plenty, and I can already predict what's going to happen heading into Season 2. They're going to buff our health by about 45%, and they're going to say, hey, we missed the mark. We think giving some more HP for healers to not instantly top health bars is going to give us more room to, damage us without whatever. And that's not going to work because they're going to give us some random, like, bard power kind of shit. And then we're going to be overpowered again, and the same thing's going to happen. And we're going to literally repeat the cycle of Dragonflight. So, like I said earlier, definition of insanity is like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something else to happen. We got to break the cycle at some point. So you got to start tackling other parts of the problem because, yeah, we're just going to repeat Dragonflight again, and I don't want to do that. Anyway, that's the end of the rant. Hopefully things start changing here soon. I'm going to go eat some pizza and have a drink. So I will catch you guys later. Hopefully I'm not making another one of these videos for a long time. Peace.